What up, world? What up, world? It's your boy Paradox. I'm with the lovely Mel, and this is episode number 2 of the UFO Podcast. For those of y'all that are new to the UFO Podcast, UFO acronym stands for Unpopular Facts and Opinions. We're not politically correct here, and we're gonna get right into this thing. My first topic is inspired by the OG, Lil Boosie himself. Y'all been seeing him on his Instagram live wilding out. You know what I mean? So the topic of around the kids was inspired by the homie Lil Boosie.
He be going the fuck off.
He be going in. But what are your thoughts on smoking around the kids, drinking around the kids, whether it's cigarettes or weed, or what are your thoughts? Do you try to hide things from your child, or do you uncensor it because of the way the world is set up, and you want him to go on to know what life is and not hide it from him? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
That's a tough one. So, in all honesty, I have never smoked in front of my son. It's most of the time, if I'm smoking, it used to be when he was in school, or when he went to bed in my room with my door closed. So he's never physically seen me smoking. Now, as far as drinking, he's probably seen me throw a couple back, because we do mommy son dates, and we usually go to Dave and Buster's. And so I'm kind of like, when I'm out, I don't drink as much when I'm with him. So you might see me have like a drink or two, and then I'm done. But he has seen me drink. But as far as like heavy drinking, he's never really seen any of that. He's never really seen me smoke. But he does know that I do smoke from time to time. Because he asked me a question, and at one point in time I had a year where I smoked cigarettes, and he didn't like that. He told me, I'd rather have you smoke weed than cigarettes. And I'm like, wow, really? So that was the end of the cigarette era. So yeah, it's just an iffy. Now, I don't really agree 100% about smoking in front of them because of the secondhand contact. So I feel like they shouldn't be as close. They need to at least be in another room or something. I wouldn't just sit there and roll a blunt and smoke it on the couch and my son on the other end of the couch. Like, no. So, I kind of feel like it needs to be done away from. But that's my opinion. That's what goes on in my household. My household is ran a little different. Now, if I go to your house and you smoking in front of your kids, I am going to ask you, like, oh, we getting ready to roll up in front of him? Whatever you do, whatever you do in front of your kids, that's you. You can never tell somebody how to parent their children. I feel that's really disrespectful. Now, you can throw your opinion in there from time to time, but I don't feel like you should tell someone how to parent around their children. So, as far as Boosie smoking around his kids, he said he been smoking since some motherfuckers was on the incubator. So, they used to it,
Yeah.
But you should be honest with your children about it. Like I said, I'm honest. My son asked me, do I smoke? Do I drink? Yeah, from time to time. So I'm honest about it.
I think Boosie raised a good perspective, though. A lot of people smoke cigarettes around their kids or around anybody because it's accepted already.
Yeah.
They might sip a little something, but they'll try not to get drunk around kids, so they'll try not to get high around kids. But they'll smoke cigarettes because I guess it's universally accepted. But if you think about it, cigarettes kill a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With cancer and everything. So the promotion of it is kind of wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's acceptable to smoke cigarettes, but not weed. And, it's acceptable to sip something, but, you get liver disease and you get cancer from cigarettes and alcohol. So I get the point that he was making with the weed and everything. Men is from the earth, but I think the stance on weed gonna change a little bit after it's legal for a couple of years or whatever. It's legal in all 50 states for a couple of years. It's gonna be like normal. It's gonna be normal to see people smoking weed. Mm-hmm. From an illegal standpoint, is where I would draw the line as far as like kids. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be smoking weed around my kids, and in a situation where the law comes in the house or something like that, and have my kids see that type of situation. But as far as like the actual smoking, I don't smoke weed like that. I'm like a casual drinker. I don't really do too many drugs, or I don't smoke cigarettes at all. So, but I've been around, weed smoke all my life. because I'm an artist, being in studios and being around, the whole hip hop culture. You know what I mean? You're gonna be around some weed and some alcohol, you know what I mean, and other drugs. But I never been really like a heavy drug user or anything like that. But I do feel like it's a case by case thing. But me personally, I don't see a problem with smoking weed around kids, as long as when they get older, you're gonna have to explain to them that this is something that you're gonna have to be older or more mature enough to do, and you have to explain to them the legalities of it. You know what I mean? Of it, if it's still illegal at the time. But yeah, as long as you can be blunt and honest with your kids, you know what I mean. I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just don't want them sitting. I'm just gonna be honest with you. When I'm trying to get high, I just don't want a kid in my face.
Yeah. Because they might blow the high. You know what I mean?
It's like, and then they ask you the dumbest shit. So it's like, no, you're not getting ready to talk to me about some dumb shit, and I'm just trying to smoke for peace right now.
Yeah. And they like, mommy. And you're like, man,
why you roll that? Why you roll that? What is that? What's in it? Why you puff so hard? Blow some circles. Like, listen, get the fuck.
Yeah. And while we on the topic of kids, what are your thoughts on homeschooling? Do you feel like you could see yourself homeschooling even after this is over, the quarantine and everything, or do you feel like they need that access with other people, or do you feel like it's kind of dope that you can govern your child and kind of teach his education a little bit better with the quarantine or whatever? What are your thoughts on homeschooling now that we're in quarantine?
Homeschooling to me is kind of cool. It has its ups and it has its downs. I like homeschooling a little bit because you can kind of monitor what they're learning, and you can kind of teach them what the truth. Because I feel like a lot of schools are lying to kids, so you can teach them the truth. But the only thing is, I feel like with any person, whether it's a child or an adult, they need other people around for interactions. And this is my opinion, some of them homeschool children weird. They are.
Yeah, I know a few.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They weird because they don't really know how to act around other people. And then they social. You ever meet people, and I'm talking about like adults, and they don't have social skills. Like, their social skills are not there, and it's because the only people they're around is their damn family, and their family gets them, but the world won't. So I feel like they still need those social interactions. So I feel like with homeschooling, they would still need to get out and have some kind of social interactions during the day. Like, whether it's, take them to the YMCA, let them interact with other kids, put them in some sports after homeschooling, let them interact with some other kids. But as far as them learning the knowledge part of it, I like that. I really do. But they still need some social interactions. As far as with my son, he's homeschooling right now. He's not really homeschooling, he's doing the quarantine thing. So he's learning this stuff online. But then I feel like I need to incorporate some of my teachings in there, which is going to be, some African history, Native American history. I want them to know the truth,
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I'm kind of torn now that quarantine has happened because at first I was against it because of the whole sports and the whole, being around kids and being able to socialize. But with technology and with the world being more active, I think you could balance that out if you was to homeschool your kids and then take them on play dates, just go out more in the public to be around kids, to kind of give them that whole human interaction. You know what I mean? So I mean, I like the whole what you were saying, incorporating things that the public school is not going to incorporate, like African spirituality, the truth about a lot of things that they're not gonna that they're gonna be politically correct about for whatever reason. You know what I mean? The truth about slavery, the truth about our race as a whole. I think that's the plus. That's the plus from homeschooling, because you can actually get in the truth with no filter, without no agenda. So I really think that would be dope. I don't have any biological kids currently, but I've raised a set of boys, and I really think it would be dope. My first child, to homeschool them. You know what I mean? But I have met some
Yeah.
kids that were kind of awkward, and they was homeschooling in my neighborhood when I lived in Knightdale in North Carolina. Um, they had some kids that was homeschooled, and they was a little weird, but they was weird in a sexual way. They started watching porn early because I guess they had more time on their hand to surf the internet, and so they was sexual kids. They wanted to have sex early. You know what I mean? And so they was awkward in that way. Not that kids don't want to have sex, but they was way too early to be as advanced as they were. That was kind of like a
So
drawback.
like what age were they?
Like 8, 9, you know what I mean? So
Oh, okay.
like 8, 9, like a kiss or like thinking somebody pretty. That was probably about it in your mind back in the day.
Yeah.
So 8, 9, you talking about uh, coming and moaning. You like that's a little too advanced. You know what I mean?
Like, what is that?
Yeah, like when you 8, 9, you don't know moaning and
Yeah.
coming. I mean, if you hear it, you gonna know kind of know what it is. But um, as far as like being detailed and descriptive about sex, you know what I mean. You kind of not gonna know. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on as far as like homeschooling per se. You know what I mean. So being that we got on the topic of quarantine, do you think artists should do more quarantine shows? And if you feel like artists should do more quarantine shows, what about the national recording artists or the artists that are signed? Do you think they should charge like a donation fee or something to watch it, or do you feel like the quarantine shows kind of like Erykah Badu did? You think that'll suffice for our entertainment or whatever?
It's okay. So how I feel about the quarantine shows is, to a certain degree, I like them. It's like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really gonna sit on Facebook and watch them perform. I'm just gonna be honest. I might look at a song or two, but my attention span just is not gonna be there with looking at them perform in their bedroom or something. Now, Erykah Badu, I liked it, but even though I love Erykah, I did not sit there and watch her whole quarantine show. You know, and as far as them charging, the only issue I have with that is like, well, one, we're in quarantine, so I'm pretty sure these artists want to. This is their time to spend time with their family and their friends right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who are we to interrupt that? I understand we still need to see y'all and we still want to hear your music, but these people are probably spending time with their family the same way you are. And then secondly, with everybody being with the job cuts and the hours that people are getting cut for, who really has the money to donate right now? Like, some people, times are hard. So that's why I feel like they should not charge for it, because it's like, this is something you chose to do out your house, but then it's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, I feel you.
yeah, this is what you chose to do, most people are paying for the live interaction of actually knowing that the person is on the stage, 50 feet in front of them or however many feet in front of them. That's what you're really paying for, is because you're not really paying to see them. You're paying for the interaction, to know that you're there, and you're not really there over Facebook Live. So it's like, it's an iffy with me, because like I said, I would want to see, now I would want to see more of, let's say, like an artist at home with a family, and it's like, oh, y'all, I'm home chilling with my kids. I'm teaching them how to make cupcakes or something today. I probably would watch that before I would watch a concert. I want to see, how are y'all handling quarantine? Like, what are they doing? Like, oh, this is a cute idea. This is nice what they're doing with their family. So not so much a concert. And like I said, times are hard right now. A lot of people don't even have money for rent. So let alone, donations. And then it's like, we're donating for a person who probably has millions and thousands of dollars. We're donating for you to build up on your stuff. Like, we need to be donating that extra money we got. We need to donate and get some masks going to the hospital, or some proper PPE equipment to the hospitals and stuff. We need to donate to. I feel like if any donations need to be given out, it need to be given out to the healthcare workers.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
And even the grocery store workers, because y'all won't stay out of there. I'm confused as to why people still going to the grocery store. Did you not get all your groceries 2 weeks ago? Like, y'all was in there buying up every single thing. It's like for 2 weeks, the grocery stores are empty because y'all are buying everything. There is nothing you should need right now for most people. So it's like, I feel like those people need donations.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As far as like, I'm kind of in the middle. Um, I feel like entertainment from celebrities or just entertainment period is what some people need to cope with the fact that they're stressed out and worried about life. I think good music and good performing and good singing and good production. Um, if you coming off the backdrop of what D Nice did, right? If artists can figure out a way to kind of get that same type of feel, that same type of vibe, whether they decorate their living room and have some family and friends over and make it look real dope and intimate, I think that'd be dope to watch. Maybe I wouldn't watch like an hour, but 20 minutes, 15 minutes of them performing, I think it'd be dope. Now, as far as them charging, I'm in the middle on that as well because even though they make a lot of money, they're losing a lot of money and they take care of a lot of people, and but that's by their choice. I know that's by their choice, but when you become rich and you become famous, you got a lot of people's lives in your hand. I seen a tweet or a post that Wale made, and he was kind of like depressed that he missed out on $200,000. In a couple of shows, he missed out on $200,000, and that may seem like sound Republican or it might sound bougie, but he could have been counting that 200,000 to go towards his overhead or his cost of bills he got monthly or whatever. It could have been a part of his budget, and he can't make that 200,000. So not charge somebody arm and a leg, but like $5-10 donations for the millions of people to watch your live, and it'll add up to a couple million. You can still make money, and you ain't making shows. So and a lot of people don't get to see some celebrities perform. So it'd be like, oh, I get to see my favorite artist perform for like a little $5 donation on this little live feed or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel your perspective. That some of that money some of the proceeds need to go to the healthcare workers and towards the corona situation. So I do see that aspect of it, but I think it'll get a lot of people. Like if you look up on your feed and somebody like your favorite artist is jamming out, you know what I mean? For that
Mm-hmm.
15-20 minutes, you ain't thinking about, oh, corona gonna kill me, or you're not thinking about, oh, I ain't got no bill money, or you ain't thinking about Trump. You thinking about, this is beautiful. Like they in there, they got a band in the living room. That thing dope in they mansion. And you get like, if they did it in the living room or they did it on by the pool side in they mansion, you get to see their like how they living a little bit, and it's kind of bring them in. I think that would be dope. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but I do see your perspective too. It's like, hell no, y'all take this time off and hang with your regular people, because y'all don't hang with nobody a lot because y'all always on the road or y'all always being a celebrity. This is y'all time to like be regular like us. You know what I mean? So I see both sides. Really. Yep. And while we own it, you know, quarantine and corona, I mean, that's gonna be like everybody's thought process, really. So do you think do you think the government's planning something sinister, or do you think it's just corona, or do you think it's a bigger plot to something sinister? You don't really got to go too deep and get all spiritual and conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
just touch on it a little bit. Do you think there's something bigger than we can ever imagine, or you think it's really like just a virus? You know what I mean?
Um. Personally, I think there's more to it, and because it's just little stuff that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen that Trump sent, I can't remember how much PPE to China to fight coronavirus, but then I see a link today that's saying, oh, China hasn't had any new cases, so it's like, well, then why did we send all our shit over there? They ain't even got no new cases. You know what I'm saying? But then Russia, the country that, you know, can't, they kind of on the border with us, don't really like us. You know, they send us tons of PPE, you know, to help us with coronavirus. So it's like, well, why are we sending our shit to accept stuff from Russia? You get what I'm saying? So to me, that didn't make sense, because it's like I'm trying to think of an example, but just period. Why did we send all our shit to China just to take Russia's? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, if they can't really stand us, not get right now, everybody's supposed to be banding together, but it just takes one mask out of thousands. You know what I'm saying? One mask contaminated out of thousands to start this shit all over again.
Yeah. Man, that's kind of weird, man. I really feel like, I mean, not to go too deep, not to be a conspiracy theorist, Josh, but I really feel like it's a deeper thing. This has been planned, you know, not actual coronavirus, but the things that fall in place during election time, and then the elite or the 1% trying to go towards a cashless society, and all these things is out there about the 5G, about this and that. I really feel like it's way deeper than just this virus. The virus is just at the forefront, and I do feel like it's a lot of fuckery going on behind the scenes. It's a whole lot of lying to the American society, and some of it is to protect us, because some people will go crazy with the truth. And it's like some of them strands are doing different things to different people. People are not just. It's weird because people ain't just getting flu-like symptoms like cough and sneezing. Yeah. People jumping off buildings and killing themselves, running in the streets naked. Like, I hope that ain't like.
Yeah, I just think
I hope people ain't. I hope that's people. What you say?
No, I was saying that I had just seen on Twitter where it was a medical professional, and he killed, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, but he killed her, and I think and himself, because he thought she gave him coronavirus, but neither one of them had it.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. And so I think like it's a lot of weird things is happening. So I'm thinking like it'll mutated into something different than they can ever imagine it mutated into. And I really feel like it was I really feel like some of this is so what y'all can get a second term. Trump can get a second term, because it's gonna be hard to vote a new president in the middle of this, if it's still going on in November. You know what I mean? And what it looks like is we in trouble for a little while. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. A lot of people saying when it get hot, it's gonna kill it, but we don't know. Per se, all of it is educated guesses. We're doing a lot of research, and we're guessing based on what we see and what we think, and using our logic to the best of our ability. But I think a lot of it's some government scandal and some something weird going on that that they can't tell us, or that they don't want to tell us. And that's my perspective on that. You know what I mean? And to stay right on. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, population control is real. There's been numerous accounts where they've tried to do population control on the low. So I feel like, it could be more to it. Especially with the whole Trump getting reelected. And I don't know how true it is that every time somebody's supposed to get elected, an outbreak bursts out. But so far, it's kind of looking like that might be the truth.
Yeah. And stay right on par with kind of what we're kind of talking about, the whole thing. You can break out so many topics with this quarantine. I'm trying not to, because it's just depressing talk, and then we need stuff to uplift the people, because people killing themselves and doing all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And we need that balance. You know what I mean? So do you find yourself eating more now that you're at the house a lot? Well, you may not be at the house because you probably an essential worker, but for the people that aren't essential workers and yourself, do you feel yourself eating more, or thinking about exercising and thoughts that you never thought of? Are you thinking about other things that you thought you would never be thinking of because of the quarantine? Or are you eating more or what?
No, I don't. I really don't think I'm eating more. Only because, like you said, I am considered an essential worker, so I'm kind of out the house during the day. I have noticed that my son does eat more now that he's in the house. Either that or he's always eating like that, and I just ain't know because he was in school. But like, he's constantly hungry, like all day. So, and people eat out of boredom. So I'm like, yeah, you're stuck in the house because he doesn't even want to go outside. So I'm like, maybe that's why he's eating so much. But as far as me, I haven't been eating more. I have actually changed my diet a little bit since the quarantine. I'm not a big water drinker. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I don't even like how water tastes. But since the quarantine, and I have so many bottles of water here, I actually have been drinking water. Not to jump off topic, but I was looking at some holistic books and stuff, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should change the way I'm eating. This quarantine would be a good time for me to start changing how I'm eating because you know how when you change your diet, sometimes you get sick when you first change your diet or
Yeah,
when you
you get
first
sick.
switch everything
Yeah.
over. Yeah, and then you still got to be around people, and it's like times where I'm not at work as much, so it's like this would be the perfect time to change my diet. I actually want to get into a more plant-based diet for health, not because I'm trying to lose weight and be this skinny chick. It's just more for a healthier me. I had gone vegan a couple years back, and I can honestly say that being vegan for the amount of period that I was, I actually had more energy. I felt healthier. I felt cleaner on the inside. I don't even remember getting sick that period. So it's like maybe that might be the way to go for me. I'm not saying everybody need to cut meat and everything out their diets, but for me, that's what I've been doing at the house is looking at plant-based diets. I've actually been looking at switching over to more herbs instead of taking modern medicine because a lot of people know that I don't take a lot of modern medicine. I actually do a little herbal medicine. So I'm actually looking into, being more knowledgeable in herbal medications. So
Yeah, that's what's up. Me personally, I find myself grabbing some of everything. Um, but I've also been exercising more, and I've also been eating way better. But I
yeah.
eat more. I eat way more than I normally would eat. But I'm eating better, so I don't know if that's gonna work out as far as calories go. But as far as me, I've been focused like more on what's happening. Like
Yeah.
typically throughout a day, that you're not in quarantine, a lot of distractions happen. So you just grab and eat. You might like have a lunch break, so you just run up the road real quick on your job or whatever, grab whatever open or what's close, eat it, and then go
Yeah.
back to work. Typically, you know what I mean. And you ain't even conscious. You just grabbing the first thing that they brainwash you to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as like the quarantine, it's like you're actually thinking it out. Like, okay, I'm gonna put this in my salad today, and I'm gonna do this. Like, you can actually slow down the world. It's like your mind is slower as it pertains to your living and how you eating, and everything is just slowed down. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
you can actually plan what you're doing throughout a day because you ain't really got nothing to do really. So you can actually case by case and step by step plan out your day, and it's like the day is a lot more structured, without the chaos of 9 to 5 or everybody hustling and busting. You know what I mean? But as far as me, I have been eating more out of boredom, but I've been eating better. So I get bored, I grab an apple, or grab a snack, grab this. You know what I mean? The only thing that I've been eating bad when I get bored is a lot of chips. I might grab a lot of chips, and I've been trying different
Oh
chips.
God.
And I I
Don't
started
talk
eating
about
I
chips.
started eating queso. I started eating queso chips, and they're probably like the best chip known to man. I don't know why nobody ever tell me that shit. Queso chips, bro. Them damn queso chips changed my life, boy.
They
I,
are good.
damn. I said, damn. So I just been trying different chips to see if I like, and I like queso chips. I like the It's a couple of other brands I don't really know off bat, but they like different. It's kind of like kettle sweet barbecue chips. I like them. They're very rich in flavor, but they're kettle and they real nice. But
Kettle
yeah,
chips too hard for my teeth. I can't eat them chips. It's like eating rock.
yeah. There's some certain ones that are hard, and then certain ones it's like medium. They're not like
You
as
might
hard.
as well eat you some skin, some crackling, whatever it is, because them chips just that
Nah,
hard.
hell no, hell no. I know what the ones you talking about. It's certain kettle chips is real crunchy, and it's like you
Yeah.
can't taste nothing because it's so crunchy. But the ones I'm talking about, they like more ruffled kettle than just kettle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I, but I'll get the name of them and let you and share it with you or whatever. But they banging. They sweet barbecue or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, and when the pandemic over, or we out of quarantine, do you see yourself traveling more, or you see yourself doing things that you always said you would do, but you've been procrastinating? Do you be like, man, I'm doing that shit now because I ain't no telling what's gonna happen in life? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Do you feel more excited about like when you come out of this shit? You know what I mean?
I feel like when a kid is on punishment and they ain't been outside in 2 weeks, and it's like you can go outside today. Like, yes, this is how I feel. So when I come out of quarantine, I feel like I travel a lot now, but I know for a fact that when I come out of quarantine, I think I'm going to travel even more. I think that I am going to do more, because what is the post that we seen on Facebook where it was like, if you don't come out this quarantine with a new hustle, a new mindset, stuff like that, then you it's not that you lack time, you lack discipline.
Yeah,
So I feel like, yeah, it wasn't that I lacked time in the day, and that's what the quarantine did teach me, is that it's not that I lack time, I lack discipline. And so it's
yeah,
like once I come out, I really got to hit the ground running, because it's like this has showed us that you got to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? And people with side hustles, they were still making money when everything was closing down. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I'm still
I
making
seen
money now.
and not to throw a specific race out there, but before that post hit Facebook, and I want to say it was a white lady that posted it on Facebook, but before that post ever hit Facebook, it was a Mexican lady out in Colorado who was making gift baskets, and it had tissue, Clorox, hand sanitizer. She was like the first person I seen do it. And I'm not gonna lie, when she first did it, I was like, this woman crazy.
Yeah,
And she made her money. But she was a what do you call those people that coupon? She's an extreme couponer. So she had the product, you know. So she had hustle. So I feel like after this, everybody, you need to either build your skills up or something, especially like people in restaurants where you're being servers and stuff, because y'all kind of were the first people that they kind of put out of work. It's like we can't let nobody come in, sit down and eat. So it's like, okay, well, these people can go, but we want to keep, the cooks, or we want to keep one cashier. The hospital workers, they were essential. So I just feel like, not to drag this out, but everybody needs to come out of this with a better mindset and some kind of hustle. If you've been talking about going to school to get your degree, which I am, when I come out of this, I'm really about to hit the ground running. Like, forget this. If I can find time in the day, to go get my hair, nails, toes done, I can find time in the day to go to Victoria's Secret in the mall. I can find time to get my schoolwork done.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, me personally, I'm definitely gonna travel more. I travel a lot too as well, but I have set places that I'm like gearing up for in my mind because I got time. You know what I mean? And so I'm
Yeah.
targeting the areas that I never like. I ain't never been to Switzerland. I want to go to Switzerland. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
places that ain't. I want to go to places that ain't sexy. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to want to go to like do. It's easy to want to go to like Dubai, Miami, New York, LA, Chicago.
Yeah.
Like the hot spots, like Dominican Republic, Cancun. You know what I mean? But I want to go places
Yeah.
that it take a little bit to save up to go to, or places that people don't even think of. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. 'Cause
just
a
like
vacation, don't go to Switzerland.
yeah, you don't think of like Switzerland, and you don't think of Chile, like certain parts of Chile. You don't think of like places where they have culture like pyramids and things that you can actually do studies while you're out there instead of just hit a beach up to see some ass or to get your freak on the, on the beach, because that's my thing. You know what I mean? I like to go to exotic beaches and get my freak on. So I'm more addicted to that type of travel. I ain't really did too much outside of that. Like, I like exotic beaches all over the world. I like to go to the dopest, most romantic area, but that's pretty much been most of my travels. If it ain't music related, it's like romantic or like exotic beach related. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna travel more. And I advise everybody to get their passport if they don't got it and travel more and actually see this world. It's a lot of spirituality in traveling. A lot of people don't know that, because you see the best of the best and the worst of the worst. You see like the poor people when you coming in, and you get to see the beautiful areas, and you get to see what real hoods look like. You know what I mean? And so you get a rejuvenation or a reset button when you come back from traveling. You know what I mean? You miss people, you miss your family. You miss your family and your friends, and you miss people when you travel. So then when you come back, it's like you wanted to cuss their ass out last week, but this week you appreciate them. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm going to be doing after I get out of here. I'm going to be like targeting and pinpointing places that I would never think to go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And to kind of switch it up, because I don't want the podcast to be all sad and what you gonna do when you get out punishment. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a few reviews. I checked out a couple projects. I checked out Party Next Door project, and I checked out the Baby's new single, Find My Way, and I looked at the little mini movie that he had. I really like how the Baby switched up his flow. I like B Simone in the video. I like that it was actually felt like kind of like a mini movie, and it was smart too, because we're in quarantine, so he could make the video longer. So it was like a 10-minute video. I like how it was shot by the real goats. And I like that it was more thought. You can tell that he was actually thinking that people are in quarantine, they're going to watch something.
Yeah.
And so it would just want like a regular rap video. You know what I mean? It was more like, I'm going to give these people something to watch while they're in quarantine. And it's my new single. And it's me switching my flow. And I'm getting more melodic, because the baby is in the melodic area. He really hasn't did a lot of melodic songs. If you really think about it, he got like kind of a melodic bop with his flow, but it really is just him rapping real fast and choppy. But this is my first time hearing him do like the Lil Babies and and the Roddy Ricch type of melodic sound. You know what I mean? I really thought it was dope. And he still stayed, in pocket with his visuals, because his visuals are real animated. So I really like the Find My Way record. So that's my take on. Did you check out Find My Way?
Yeah, I did actually. And I actually like it. Like, I'm like, the way he switched his rap style up a little bit, because I was kind of tired of hearing that same, he had the same, it seemed like it was the same flow on every
same track. Song, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, are you recycling this song? So it was just like, with this one, I liked it. I like him better this way. You get what I'm saying? And the video was dope, because he gave you that kind of Queen and Slim, Bonnie and Clyde kind of vibe to it. Like ride or die chick. I really liked it. And I understand people are going to think I'm weird for this one. And the end of the video where they go into the hotel, did that not give y'all like a Rob Zombie film kind of feel? I kind of felt that way, because I as a producer, I love Rob Zombie movies. I can't sit here and lie to you.
Yeah.
But did it not give you that kind of feel when the family was out there together? And that's why I was like, oh, I kind of like this. Like,
yeah, that's dope.
That real movie feel to it.
Yeah, and not to like cause no controversy, because I don't know if both of them got their own partners or whatever. I don't know if B Simone got a dude or if the Baby got a girl at this current moment. But him and B Simone look good together. Like, they could be a power couple or something.
They did, but I just in my head, to be honest with you, I don't see it working, because she got a mouth and he look like he ain't playing with her.
Yeah. I don't see it working either, because she a little rough, and he don't play around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they look like a cute little industry couple. You know what I mean? I was like, go ahead then. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure them behind the scenes takes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they got their little flirt on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope she did.
And I also You got any more to add on that record? So like
Oh
we can
no.
breeze through this. So we can breeze through this review of Party Next Door. I checked out the Party Next Door album. I might be a little late. I mean, he dropped it a couple weeks ago, I want to say. Um, and I really checked it out because I ain't been in my R&B bag in a while. I checked it out. It's produced by Cardiac and Murder Beats. Most of the beats are produced by them, and then you have a sprinkle of Business Boy and Hoskins and Alex Lustig. 40 is on there. Drake's go-to guy. For the most part, I was disappointed in the project. I'm not a huge Party Next Door fan, so excuse me, but I really wasn't really into the project because the name of the project was called Party Mobile, and it
Yeah.
won't that many party records. It won't that many party records. Like, and it won't like it didn't get like when I think Party Mobile, I think like freak bitches in a party bus, or I think like turn up on the Vegas Strip, or I think like somewhere on an island doing some kind of Caribbean dance. And he gave
Yeah.
me that on a couple of records. He gave me that on a couple of records. I want to say like Turn Up, and it was one record that was real, real hot. And I was like, oh shit, this shit hot. It should have been far up on the it should have been far up on the list though. You know what I mean? What's the name of that damn record? That hold on, let me check. I want to never again. Was it Never Again? Never Again, produced by Alex Lustin. I think that was dope. The best track was the one with Rihanna though, the Believe It record. It was produced by Business Boy. That was the best track with Rihanna. It definitely needed to be higher up on the track list. It didn't need to be like towards the end. That was a dope record. You can't really mess up a Rihanna track. And that's pretty much it. For the most part, the track listing is all bad. He started the project off with a soft intro, like laid back, and most of it was laid back, like you riding in Miami, really eerie. It didn't give me a party feel. It didn't give me a vibe. It didn't give me a party mobile of nothing. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much my takeaway from it. I got more to add, but I'll be here all day talking about it because I really thoroughly broke each track down and each producer and the sequencing and everything. But I really was underwhelmed. I liked about 4 tracks out of the 15. And the Lawyer remix, Bad Bunny had a dope bop to it, but as far
Bad
as
Bunny,
like
bad period. Love him. He can make a lot of stuff.
yeah, he had a dope bop
I
on the remix on the Lawyer remix with Drake. He had a different bop to it, but it was just like a waste of a remix, really. You know what I mean? It didn't do nothing for me, so it was just like, but the standout track is one with Rihanna for me. Turn Up should have been the intro, and that's what I got the high my take from it. Turn Up should have been the intro because it come in real nice. But what are your thoughts on the project?
I'll be honest about it. I was not feeling this album at all. Really, it was. I mean, the most I could say was it was I.
Yeah.
I really won't. It sounded like if you put the album on shuffle, is how the order of the songs was going.
Yeah, and it didn't. So it didn't give you no party feel. I was mad that it didn't feel. It didn't sound like a party.
You remember the I can't think of the song, but it had that Caribbean feel to it, and it was like, okay, I want to dance to this one. So I was expecting this album to be like that. I'm like, yo, he about to throw some party stuff in, and it was just like, damn, this is a slow song. Like,
yeah, I think he talking about Touch Me.
That's what I'm like. Is this a song like? Do I need to cut this album on to make love? Like, that's what kind of feel I got from it.
Yeah, it was like,
I don't want y'all to hate me for this, but that Rihanna track did nothing for me. Nothing.
Oh, you ain't like the Rihanna track either?
I did not. And I love Rihanna, but it just sounded like it was slurred. Like, maybe she won't even feel it. Like, I'm just doing it because I got to. Like, I'm still signed and they want me to work with this nigga. It was a little slurred to me. Either that or she was high in the studio. That's really my point of view on it. It didn't do much for me. And like I said, the album was and that's me being nice. I wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry. It didn't do anything for me. The name needs to be different. If you're gonna say Party Mobile, you need to give us a party feel.
Yeah, definitely the name. The name of the project is what messed this project up for me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't looking for none of them songs that he had on there.
Yeah.
I was looking for a party, and it won't no party.
It's kind of
No
like if
man.
I open a store and I say that everything in it, like if I call my store the $2 store, but you come in here and everything $10 and $15, it's like, bitch, where the $2
It was
stuff
like
at?
false. It
You
was like
know?
false advertisement. It was
Yeah.
like false advertisement, and then you can't have a artist named Party Next Door, and it don't sound like
No
the party
party
going on
track.
next door. Like, no, man, it sound like a hookah lounge. Maybe that should have been the name of the album, Hookah Lounge. Like, I don't know. It just sounded like laid back, with your top back in Miami, and you like think reminiscing on some shit. You know what I mean? Your boo left you or something. I don't know, man.
He
But a
had
couple
two
of
of them that sounded like if I was gonna give my man a massage, I would cut it
yeah,
open,
yeah,
light
yeah,
candles, that feel. But
yeah, yeah.
even that wouldn't be party mobile.
Like I want to say, Trauma and Touch Me was like the island vibes. Trauma, Touch Me, the one with Rihanna, and Trauma and Touch Me. Them probably the only like island vibes. Everything else was pretty much nothing. You know what I mean? Another day that he did like some mumble singing, and the production was dope, but he was mumble singing. I ain't never heard no damn mumble singing. I was just like, damn. And then and then the Savage anthem, like how he came in at 2 minutes, and the 2 minute mark, how he came in, I was like, yeah, this gonna be all right. But the beat never dropped, so I was like, well, fuck. How you have a beat that don't never drop? Like the beat
Exactly.
never dropped, and I was like, man, So I was upset. I wasted my damn 20-30 minutes of my day. But the people wanted me to break down some records. So a lot of people want my take on the Royce 5'9" and Jadakiss album. I do that next podcast or whatever. Even though they've been out for a little while, a lot of people know I'm a hip hop head, so they want my breakdown on those. But I'll probably break it down next episode or whatever. But I ain't really got nothing else. We go. You want to get into the Tiger King and Carol Baskins before we get out of here?
Yes. Sorry, I was just talking to y'all about eating, and I was eating.
But yeah, we can wrap it up with Tiger. We can wrap it up with the controversial Tiger King and Carol Baskins.
Now, let me go ahead and make my disclaimer. I don't want Carol trying to sue me. These are my opinions, okay? But Tiger King was just, I'm not even gonna lie, that damn documentary was just everywhere. It came on crazy. And at first,
Yeah, this shit
like,
crazy.
yeah, now when people were talking about it on Facebook, I was like, I'm not about to sit here and watch no shit about no tigers, like animal sanctuary and shit. But then I was like, you know what, I'm bored, I ain't got to do. Let me look at it. And it came on, and the first thing I thought was, my God, Joe Exotic is very, out there.
Yeah.
I loved him so much. Like everything about him, from the way he's a cursor. Especially when he's like,
Yeah.
God damn it. I love when Joe goes in.
Yeah.
I like everything about Joe. And then I'm just going to be honest. I felt like the more you watched it, the more you see him lose himself.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
lost
a prime example of people losing themselves. Like, and we all do it. But it was just that for once you actually can see on camera him losing himself piece by piece. Because he came in and he was strictly all about the animals. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the selling of exotic animals. I think that's wrong. I think, if anything, which I'll go to that next, but I do think that's wrong. But I did see that. I saw the love he had for these tigers, the lions and everything. I saw the love he had for the zoo. And you could tell, like, he really put, how people say, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this.
Yeah, he put this all into that.
Tears, and he put his heart into that. And then for him to give, people that society wouldn't even give a job to a job, I was like, wow, he really cares about him. But then you see him lose himself. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, Carol kept fucking with him. Carol should have left him alone. Because in my opinion, what is the difference between an animal sanctuary and a zoo? To me,
Same thing.
Watching this show, I didn't see a big difference. You know, her animal sanctuary is tight fit. You know, there was not a lot of room, like he said, compared to Joe's. He had a little more room. And my thing is,
and hers look horrible. Hers look like the hood.
Yeah, the weeds were growing. Like, bitch, take care of your shit. So I was very disappointed with her. And then the fact that, Joe paid his employees, but Carol's sneaky ass was getting motherfuckers to work for her for free. They're gonna volunteer. You go from yellow, red, orange, green, yellow. What do I get? A t-shirt. A t-shirt. Bitch, I am here risking my life with lions, tigers.
You gotta use Soldier Boy voice.
T-shirt. Like,
you gotta use Soldier Boy voice on that. A t-shirt. Like, what?
A t-shirt for my hard work. I get a fucking and she got money, you know.
Well, she ain't start off with money.
No, she didn't. We're gonna get on that too. But I feel like an animal sanctuary, I feel like it's like an animal sanctuary to me is like a rehab. Like, we're gonna take you from out of here and we're gonna bring you over here. We're gonna get all this cocaine and heroin out your system, and then we're gonna reintroduce you to the world. And that's what an animal sanctuary to me feels like. It's like, okay, we're going to take you from these owners that shouldn't have had you in the first fucking place. Who the fuck has a tiger in their backyard? But we're going to take you from your owners. We're going to bring you here. And you understand, we're going to coach you back into the wildlife. I feel like they said there's more tigers in the United States than there is in the wild. Why don't we put them back in the wild? Why we can't coach them back into the wild? Yeah. I'm pretty sure tigers and lions have natural instincts. I don't see them, which I could be wrong. So, you know, you guys can correct me if I am, but putting them back in the wild, wouldn't they natural animal instincts kick in? You know, for them to be like, okay,
I would think so. Just like humans.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, just like humans getting out of jail.
You put them in rehab and you put them back into the world. Now the crackhead, there's plenty of people that I've met. I've met some people that are managers, and they have actually came out and told me, back in the day, I used to do heroin. I had to go to rehab. I stayed in rehab for 6 months trying to get that shit out of my system. I had to get rehabilitated back into the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, isn't that the same thing? Like, not comparing humans and animals, but I just feel like she's keeping them for profit, because at the end of the day, it's an animal sanctuary. If you're going to have the workers volunteer for an animal sanctuary, then you need to let the people come visit these animals for free. Why are you making a profit? And I get it. They have to still be fed, but at some point you need to put them back in the wild. You know, not saying that Joe Exotic was any better because he kept them, but he acknowledged that this was a zoo. What do zoos do? They keep these animals. A sanctuary is supposed to release them back into the wild, you know? So I didn't agree with Carol Baskets. And yes, she did feed her husband to those lions and tigers and ligers. I don't care what no one says.
Definitely did.
She did. She even said it. If tigers don't eat human meat, you know, the only way to get them eating, you got to put some sardine oil on them. How the fuck you know that?
Yeah, how you know? and if you didn't say sardine oil, if you said tigers don't eat humans, how would you know if you ain't tried it?
Right. Then you remember in the movie, in the video, she goes, there's a way to get rich. You know, and she's telling you, kill the nigga to get money.
Yep. He was like, that's the way to get rich. And you can get rich by accident or on purpose. Like, what are you talking about?
She looked at the camera and gave that little look like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, and not even that. Every serious topic, she laughed it off like it wasn't serious. Like you could be talking about killing a baby. She'd be like,
no, we're not gonna kill babies.
Killing a baby. You be like, man, we all terrified over here, and you just laughing. Like everything about her said demonic to me. You know what I mean? Like, she was demonic. Like, even the choice of her new husband, he was kind of weird. Like, it was kind of like
she picked him so she could run all over him. She needs somebody.
Yeah, she was like his puppet. Like, he was like her puppet. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. It was just weird. But as far as like Joe, I was team Joe. I'm not homosexual. I don't prescribe to that thinking or that way of life. But if that's you, that's you. I don't really, I ain't homophobic either. Only that's the only thing I disagree with him about, as far as like them kids, like taking them
Yeah,
19 year
because they
olds or
were
whatever.
kids.
They were young, and like him going after young boys to
Did you
turn out
call
or
him
whatever.
Anna Kruger? Like, is that like a male Kruger?
I guess. But that's the only thing I disagree with him going after the young boys. We kind of killed R. Kelly for it, and then the people he was hanging with, like one of his mentors had girls sleeping with him, and he was only giving them $100 a week, and what I
$100.
mean, they can get their status up. They slept with him. He had women everywhere, and everything was more like every male in there had like a young girl or a young person, and they was turning them out. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I was like disagreeing as far as with Joe concerned. But like you said, he was like upbeat and he was happy about life and he was funny as hell. And
Until
and
Carol
and
with him.
and Carol just kept messing with him, and I really think everybody was messing with him because he was making that bread. Like he
Yeah.
was living life, real loud, making that bread, having fun, and people didn't like it because it was a hick town. It was a country town that you weren't supposed to get that much attention from, and so
Yeah.
everybody wanted to bring him down because he had so much joy in him. You know what I mean? Because everybody was gunning for the zoo, and they
Everybody.
was telling them everybody was gunning for a zoo, and they was telling him he shouldn't do the zoo like that. So then, why do you want his zoo if he can't? He shouldn't. You shouldn't be doing it like that. I'm confused. That everything was a bit contradictory. It was
Because
just
that's what
like,
Carol said. She was like, hey, look at how he's doing these animals. And I'm like, no, bitch, look how you doing yours.
yeah, look how you doing yours. That animal cage, he got his neck stuck out trying to eat, trying to drink. Man, he can't even get in that little hole.
So
He
I
could.
didn't like it. I did.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. I really feel like it's because she had bread and like
Yeah.
they had money, and she knew how to play the money game, and she had people in pocket. So I really feel like that's why he even in jail, and that's why she got away with a lot of stuff because she had people in pocket.
Yeah.
And she had the community rallying behind her because she was supposed to be saving the animals. So
Sanctuary. But
you
you
put
put
up
them in
blind.
cages just like he did. You're not
Yep.
trying to rehabilitate these animals and release them back into the wild. You're not doing that.
Yep.
No. He's
So
crazy. That woman was crazy.
so, and that's my take on that. I don't know why people
Let me
want to
say
uproar.
my final thought, though. I will say Jeff Lowe needs to be in jail. The fat one needs to be in jail.
Yep.
And what's the doctor, whatever his name, the one with the girls, he needs to be in jail too because I heard that he would kill the tigers, the cubs, after they were not petable anymore. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you're
that's
breeding them
crazy.
just
That's
for
crazy.
to pet them, and once they're not lap cubs anymore, you want to kill them. He needs to be in jail
Yeah,
for that. And like I said, Jeff Lowe came in pretending that he was there to help. All along, it was there for him to take the zoo. He wanted that zoo. He knew he wanted it.
yeah,
Now, what I need somebody to tell me is his net worth. Because every time it turns around and he working with somebody, he the broke one.
yeah. But he doing all this traveling, doing all this stuff. But every time somebody check the money, he ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he Trump and he know how to hide money, but he have money till it's time for you to ask for his money.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure like what is your net worth? and
Yeah.
Jeff said, not Jeff.
It seems
Joe
like
said
he
broke.
sell. You can look at Jeff. It seemed like he doing some illegal activities, like he sell drugs or something. Because like it's like he got money, but he ain't got money. So it's like that sounds like
He
drug
needs to
dealing to
be
me.
in jail. I don't care. He needs to be in jail, and he does. All of them need
Yeah.
to be in jail. And as far as Joe Exotic, they couldn't really 100% get you all that time based on an attempt to hire someone to kill him. Even that was bull crap about. I can't remember his name. Going to Florida to kill Carol Baskin.
Yeah, that Allen guy.
Yeah, he said
$3,000.
for who the hell hires somebody for $3,000? Two, and the transcripts, he said he never went to Florida, but then he says he went to Florida and then he decided to go home. So did you go to fucking Florida or not? So yeah, that alone, Everybody. I feel
alone.
like they did Joe wrong. Everybody should have been locked up. Everybody.
And then if how you got informants or people snitching that don't show up to testify, like
Exactly.
that I don't know. Everything about that was weird, and it was like damn well ain't nobody hiring no hitman for $3,000.
No. And
Hell
Judge
no.
Zadok said it. He was like, "Why the hell would I hire somebody for 3,000? A crack? Was he a crackhead or something? Like,
Yeah.
Joe,
Especially not somebody, especially not somebody friend that you just met.
But that,
I don't know. And then the guy didn't even like him. So why am I hiring somebody that?
Why would you hire your enemy to go kill your other enemy?
Yeah, it don't even make sense. It don't make sense, man. And then they gave this guy 22 years. I personally know people in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I personally know people in jail for far less time for worse.
Yeah.
like I personally
got to remember, they take this animal shit seriously. You can kill a nigga on the street, and it would not be as worse as if you went around and you bought a tiger and you shot your tiger. Oh, you going to jail for a long time. But you can shoot a nigga that live next door to you and you'll get out.
But I know personal criminals in jail for molestation and killing a couple babies, and they got less time than 22 years. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But he got 19 counts of all kinds of different crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But
it was most of it was pertaining to the animals. So most of the time.
Yeah. But now Peter on his team, so it might work out for him. You know what I mean? Now him and Peter, they on good terms now, and you know.
Peter, if y'all listening, you need to go investigate Carol Baskin's ass. I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah. Look at that little tight ass zoo. Them animals don't have space. You know what I'm saying? She got all these.
And think about it.
Is that healthy?
Think about it. She got Jeff Lowe and that Allen guy and the fat guy and all them to turn on Joe real quick. I wouldn't be surprised if she ain't paid them to get the zoo so that they can flip it and turn it into their own little thing.
Carol doing some shit on the side too.
Yeah. But that's all I got on it. You know what I mean? You got anything to add?
No.
You gotta you say, no. You got a post you seen something on Facebook or anybody you seen that you know that made a dope post or anything you want to shout them out?
Oh, I should have wrote that down because I can't remember right now. So I'll give out my shout outs on the next podcast episode. Trying to think really quick, but not really. No, not really.
All righty, we about to get up out of here. You know, man. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, you know, stick with us. We're gonna take this to the next level. Like I said, if anybody got any topics or anything they want to us to discuss or bring to the forefront that people may not want to be blunt about, you can bring it to us because this is not a politically correct podcast. So send all those things to the email or hit us up on social media. The link will be below, you know what I mean, and SoundCloud and YouTube description. Please subscribe to our YouTube and to our SoundCloud. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. Thanks for everything.
All right, Paradox and Mail signing out.